Hi, how's it going?
Pretty good. I've got a room full here at Velma Jackson, and we're recording this for our friends at Ridgeland High School, Germantown High School, and Madison Central High School as well.
Okay, perfect.
So we did Tuesday. We talked a little bit about the Marine Corps and some of the things that they offer. So obviously, you know a lot more about this than I do. We want to let them know all the great things the Marine Corps can offer after they leave high school. So I'll let you take it away. Tell us all what all you guys got going on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, sir. So I will start by introducing myself. Obviously, my name is Staff Sergeant Hannah Lazzaro. I am the local Marine representative out here for Madison County. So those schools that you mentioned, I am the local Marine representative, and our office is actually right here in Ridgeland, Mississippi. If everybody is familiar with the North Park Mall, so our office is located right in front of that, right next to Plato's Closet. So in the end, also I'll have my point of contact information displayed on the PowerPoint here shortly.
Cool.
I'll start with a brief background also about myself. So I've been in the Marine Corps for almost 8 years, and I joined from California. I was 18 years old at the time. I was a high school graduate, and I didn't really have much going on for me, and I wanted to go to pursue higher education, go to college. But as we all know, college is really, really expensive, and mom and dad really don't have enough money to pay for my education. So I went ahead, sat down with a Marine recruiter, and he gave me a bunch of information also and opportunities as far as how to reach my goals. And I also wanted to get some challenge out of that conversation. And I decided right there and then that I wanted to actually be a United States Marine. So from there forward, my first duty station was Okinawa, Japan, and North Carolina. And now I'm stationed here in Mississippi, trying to find my next replacement for the organization. So my military occupational specialty by trade is actually supply administration. So it deals with logistics. If you think about it as like Amazon, it's essentially the same. People request parts from us, different units. So say, hey, there's a vehicle that's missing parts. Then we order something, and then we make sure that all the parts are actually delivered to the right commodities. So it's like a big Amazon or FedEx hub, essentially. So yes, sir. With that being said, this is my career, and hopefully the kids also would have an open mind and think about the military as an opportunity in the bigger picture. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and actually flip my screen right here and
Yeah,
share you
and
PowerPoint.
while you're setting that up, and you can share if you need to, but while you're setting that up, my grandfather was in the Marines from 1933 to 1939, and he was stationed in San Diego. Um,
Oh, nice.
yeah, and my two great uncles, both of them actually just passed. They were World War II vets in the Marines as well, one in Iceland and one in Germany. So I have a Marine in my family, and all three of them were just unbelievable men that credited the Marines for the people they became.
Yes, sir. Thank you for their service. Absolutely. And okay, so I'm on my phone right now, but here
Okay,
you go
all right, there we go.
with the PowerPoint. Hopefully you can see clearly.
I can.
Okay, so like I said, RSS Jackson, that's our station right here in Richland. So agenda for this PowerPoint presentation, I'm going to be going over just briefly about the selection criteria, who's eligible, what the delayed entry program is all about, some of the recruit training, what programs we have, the military occupational specialty, or what we call MOS School. So it's definitely just a short term for a job. And what are some of the benefits that we have here in the Marine Corps? And also, I'll open the floor to questions at the very end.
Yeah, and I got some good ones for you too.
Yes, sir, absolutely. All right, so selection criteria right here. So obviously, we are looking for 17-year-old to 28 years old. So at a minimum, 17 years old. If you are 16-year-old and you are a high school senior, and you are going to be turning 17 sometime here shortly, that's also perfectly fine. You must also meet
height and weight standards, because the Marine Corps, and I believe it's across the military in general, we do have strict policies as far as height and weight requirements. So it depends on gender first off, so male, female, and age groups. So there must be a minimum and a maximum weight that you must meet to contract. Another thing is you need to take the ASVAB test. So I know a lot of kids probably haven't heard about the ASVAB.
Well,
It's the
actually,
Army.
all of our juniors and seniors have the option to take the ASVAB on campus.
Oh, perfect. Yes,
Yep.
sir. That's pretty great. Okay, so absolutely. So the ASVAB is the military version of the ACT, and our minimum requirement is a score of 31 on the QT. We highly recommend scoring at least a 50 so you can have more job options available for you. Next, after the ASVAB, you must also pass a medical examination at the military entrance processing station, so what we call MEPS. Another thing is at the very least, you must be a high school senior or a graduate. So another thing is we get a lot asked about these is like there's no pending or open police involvement. So if you have any speeding tickets, right, or anything involving with the law enforcement, that is okay as long as that disposition is dropped or the case is closed or paid for, etc. But if it is pending, then we can't do anything as far as enlistment purposes. So that's that. Another thing is that once you are qualified, we screen you and you pass all those requirements. Then the important thing is you must also pass a structured one-on-one interview with a Marine Corps representative. So i.e. myself. The thing with this is we treat every single applicant like not just a contract. So we want to make sure the purpose of the interview is to make sure we sit down with every single applicant and talk about their goals in the future so that we can tailor what information and resources we have to help that applicant to achieve their goals in the future. So, okay, so that's essentially the basic eligibility criteria for the Marine Corps. And once you've decided that this is the route that you want to take, you want to be a United States Marine, and then we can talk about the delayed entry program, or what we call the DEP. So the DEP program, it's good for about a year. It says on the first bullet, right? It postpones initial active duty for up to a year. And it guarantees you a place in the Marine Corps, essentially. So the DEP program is 100% tailored for high school seniors, because obviously you have to be at least a high school graduate in order for you to. It gives the high school students the opportunity to obtain their diploma. Another thing is that while you are in the program, you're going to have the opportunity to get trained, physically trained, mentally trained for the rigors of recruit training. And this is also the time when, like from the ASVAB test that you took, you are going to have the job options opened up for you. So what you qualify for, and pick that job tailored for you. So next thing is after the delayed entry program, say a high school senior graduates, and a month or two, depending on a specified like ship date for that senior, you are going to be undergoing the recruit training. So this recruit training is located in Paris Island, South Carolina. So this is good for 13 weeks of training. Yes, we are the longest recruit training out of all the military branches, but that's just because we are the toughest branch, and we are very, very diverse. We also deploy at a moment's notice. So that's why our training is longest and also the most rigorous. So yes, we will demand a lot from you physically and mentally. Okay. I want to say boot camp, it's more 80% mental than 20% physical. So a lot of kids are probably, oh no, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't swim, or I don't play sports. It's okay, because it is boot camp and the drill instructors are there to mentor you. There's instructors there to teach you how to do those things. So all you have to really have is heart. Okay. So that's the biggest thing. Another thing is you're going to have a lot of classroom instruction and practical application during this training event. You're going to be graded on those, also tested to see that you retain the knowledge. So male and female training right now, it's the same. And so far they train separately, but some of the depots, because we have some in San Diego, that they're starting to integrate the training between the male and female recruits more now for equal opportunity. It doesn't mean that they sleep in the same barracks, right? But they train together. So that means they're in the same company or whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's for equal opportunities. And we also get this question a lot. So while you are in recruit training and you're doing all these classes, they are not for naught, essentially, because you are earning college credits along the way. So what it does for you is it sets you at a higher standard than, say, a traditional student going for a bachelor's degree in college, because you are earning on the job experience. You're going to have your job, so technical skills, and then you're going to have your college credits earned too.
Awesome.
And for some instances, depending on the job, you could also qualify for licenses or certifications too, like say engineering or motor transportation. So yeah, of course you drive vehicles, okay? So you're gonna qualify for a lot of stuff.
Awesome.
Now, talk about career as a Marine, okay? There's two different categories as far as career-wise. So we have the active duty, which I am right now, or you have the reserves. The difference, you can go active duty that means you are a full-time Marine. So 24/7, you serve your contract, which is initially good for 4 years, okay? And then it's up to you if you want to re-enlist for 4 more or whatever the case may be. The reserves is more tailored to somebody who has more of a plan. And I say this because if you are the kind of person who doesn't want to leave home and wants to go to college, and say you have a full ride scholarship but still want to be a Marine, then 100% probably the reserves would be the right fit for you, because you could still postpone your college and they can't kick you out because of the Service Members Civil Relief Act. So you could still serve, right? And it's the part-time, essentially. You still have the benefits. And the best thing about the reserves is that you are going to have your work schedule assigned or published at the beginning of the year. So what it does for you is it's going to allow you to already plan ahead of time when you're going to drills, right? Go to your unit and actually do your annual training. So that's the beauty about the reserves. If you don't have a solid plan, though, I don't kind of recommend the reserves, because some reservists that say, hey, they want to switch to active duty, then guess what? It's a little bit more difficult for them to switch to active component.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's about the same. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful component, you know. One of the things with the active duty, of course, the lifestyle is more different than reserves, because you have the ability to deploy, right? You can go to different duty stations worldwide. Like I said, I was stationed in Japan for my first duty station, or you could also be stationed in Hawaii. So those are just some places you could go to potentially. Okay. Now, when people think about the Marines, they always think, oh, war, right? War fighter or something. And little do they know that right here, it says we have more than 300 specialties to choose from. And we are the only branch in the military that has this, because we are so diverse, right? So it ranges from combat, like infantry, it ranges from that to combat support. So you could also be a personnel administration if you like desk jobs, supply, like what I do. You could be motor transportation, right? So operator, mechanics, engineers, or you could be intelligence marine, or work with computers. So those MOSs, so my husband, he was actually also a Marine. He served for 4 years and he got out. And this is the kind of job he had, was with computers. He was IT Marine. And he doesn't have a bachelor's degree, but once he got out of the Marine Corps, He had so many certifications,
There you
and
go.
of course the experience he had. So what it does is the jobs were actually looking for him instead of him looking for a job.
Awesome.
So that's pretty awesome. And like I said, compare it to a traditional student going for a bachelor's degree with no experience coming fresh off of college, right? So who would really be in the realistic world, who would be more competitive, like him or the student?
Yeah.
Most likely he would, the one with the experience would be more competitive. So that's just something to think about. Okay, so like I said, you go to recruit training and then you're going to be going to your military occupational school, MOS school. The MOS schools, those 300 jobs that we have different locations all over the United States. Okay. So depending on your job, you go somewhere place in the United States. So for my job specifically, I trained aboard Camp Johnson, North Carolina. Okay. So it offers us a bunch of state-of-the-art training and technology. Okay. Of course, it teaches you your job, the fundamentals. Classroom instruction and practical application is provided. You get tested as well. And then at the very end, you're going to have a graduation certificate with the college credits equivalency as well. So say, hey, you want to pursue college, right? While you're in the military, that's 100% fine because you're earning college credits. And what it does is you can knock out a bunch of electives on the way in the process. Or you could also say pursue a degree, aligned or close to your MOS, then you can knock out a bunch of your core classes as well. So that's the beauty about it. Now let's talk about the benefits of the Marine Corps. Okay, and this is also across different military branches. So what we have is a steady income, and the entry level is of course E1, or what we call a private, with the base salary of $1,785. Okay, so that's a month. It's not a lot, but if you think about it, compared to a civilian counterpart, they get taxed more, right? So here in the military, at least you get to have more benefits, and even if you earn a little, like not very handsome amount, you still have a lot of benefits along the way.
Art, let me ask right there on the income. The A lot of the times that income, the people that are earning that are living on the base, so they would have no housing cost, correct?
Yes, sir, you are correct on that.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. That is not a lot of money, but if you're not factoring in housing costs, that it goes up significantly because housing costs are going up across the country.
Yes, that is actually true. So in reality, you are saving more because you don't have to worry about paying rent, utilities, all this and that. The chow, also the food, it's also free. So if you live on base, so that's just also something to think about for young kids. Another thing is we have retirement plan. So we call it the thrift savings plan, which ties in with applicable 401k plans outside the Marine Corps. So the good thing about this retirement plan is the Marine Corps maxes it up to 5% of your contribution. So say for me, if I contribute 10% every month from my pay, set it aside for retirement plan, then the Marine Corps would contribute up to 5%.
Wow.
So meaning every month, 15% goes to retirement for me. And then of course the way math works, compounding interest, right? So it just keeps on growing until I retire, and I can take that money out when I'm about like 65, 69 years old. So that's a good thing. Not a lot of civilian jobs out there, correct me if I'm wrong, have good retirement plans.
Not if they're not the state. You're the state, the federal government. You are correct on that.
Yes, sir. So that's just also a good thing. The good thing also about the retirement plan, say you want to get out of the Marine Corps after 4 years and just serve four, okay. That's totally okay. And say you find a job and that company has a 401k plan. So then you could roll your retirement plan from the Marine Corps and then still have contributions to your new company. So that's a good thing. And say your company doesn't have a 401k plan, that's okay, because your contributions, right, in the TSP will still be sitting there accumulating interest every single year. So, all right, another thing or benefit that we love in the military is 30 days of annual paid leave. So meaning if you break it down, every single month you earn 2.5 days of leave. So that means you don't have to worry about taking a day off and not getting paid. Okay. A lot of civilians too, I think you have to request for it and then you don't get paid while you're on your leave. So, and then I don't know how much amount of days of leave they earn every single year, because I believe it's probably lower than 30 days every single year.
I've never heard of 30 days off of annual pay leave anywhere.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
So that's a good thing. Definitely take advantage of that. So say, hey, I want to go home for the holidays. Absolutely take advantage of your leave. You earned it. So yeah, go spend it, you know. Another thing is medical and dental benefits. Okay, so this is available 100% to you and your dependents. So what is the meaning of dependent? So the meaning of dependent in the military, right, definition, it's anybody as far as like your spouse, if you have children, right, somebody legally that you actually have to take care of. So that means they, you know, they are covered as far as medical or dental if they need to have their teeth cleaned, or you have to have like some prescription. So you are covered as far as those benefits. So, okay. So going over education, which is probably a lot of kids, you know, are worried about, because a lot of kids want to go to college, and I understand. So the Marine Corps offers different avenues of approach when it comes to education. The first being Marine Corps Institute. So this is an online course, and it has a bunch of different classes that you can take that could equivalent to you helping get promoted in the Marine Corps. So also it says right here, 40% of the courses helps you earn college credits along the way. So not a lot of people think about that way. And then tuition assistance. So this is only available, however, to active duty Marines. So if you are a reservist, you do not qualify for this, unfortunately. So it says right here, it covers 100% of your tuition at accredited institutions. And let me tell you, based on my experience, because I've used this personally, and I've had a lot of Marines also use tuition assistance. Most schools will accept tuition assistance. And the reason being is because it's free money. It's free money from the government. So why wouldn't they accept it? Okay.
Now, would that be that would not just be for in-person classes, that would also be for online degrees as well, right?
Yes, sir, you are right. So it could be blended, say, hey, online, or you could do in-person classes, whatever the case may be, it should be covered. The only catch is you must maintain a C average, which I don't hopefully think, you know, that's not a very hard thing to do, hopefully. But if say, hey, you're falling off, you know, the trail or something, and you don't achieve the C average, then unfortunately you're gonna have to pay back what the government, you know, paid in the front end for you. So yeah. And then lastly, 9/11 GI Bill, which is I think most folks also hear about. So it covers also the 100% tuition and fees for 36 months. So a lot of people are like, only 36 months? Well, it is broken down per semester, meaning once that semester starts, your GI Bill starts. And then if your semester ends, that's when the GI Bill ends, and then it rolls again. So that means, say, 36 months, say it's an 8-week course or something like that. So you're good for 8 weeks. So all in all, essentially, it's gonna cover at the very least like a 4-year, you know, college. So that's the good thing about it. Again, it like the tuition assistance, the only catch is you must maintain a C average. Also, unlike the tuition assistance, the GI Bill is 100% available to active duty service members and reservists, also service members. So the good thing about the GI Bill is that it covers for book stipends too. So $1,000 a year.
Wow.
And I don't know about y'all, but books are really, really expensive,
Oh, they haven't
especially
college yet. They don't understand how expensive books are.
yes, sir. So that's a good thing. My experience was I got my bachelor's degree through the Marine Corps using the tuition assistance.
False.
And that is something that I highly advocate for, not just to my Marines, but also to future Marines, because a lot of people, they're young, they just want to live life to the fullest, and they get out of the Marine Corps and then they don't have a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
So they just missed out a window of opportunity to get that education using the tuition assistance. And now once they're out of the Marine Corps, they use the GI Bill. So absolutely take advantage of tuition assistance. So for me, I haven't even touched my GI Bill. And another good thing about the GI Bill, say you're content with just a bachelor's degree. So after that, once you start having kids, a family and whatnot, you can transfer your GI Bill benefits to your kids. So that's a pretty good way of thinking about not just your future, but your kids' future as well.
It's impressive.
Having them covered, right, for education. So, okay, so summary, we touched on the criteria, right, or eligibility in becoming a United States Marine. We talk about the delayed entry program, the recruit training in Paris Island, what programs we have, the MOS School, what to expect, and also some of the benefits that we have in the Marine Corps. So yes, sir. At this time, I will open the floor to any questions you might have. And
Okay. Yeah, and I have a few before we get to the students, because they have some great questions as well.
Yes, sir.
But can you talk a little bit about, and you mentioned it briefly, but people watch movies and TV shows, and Hollywood depicts, the let's kick the door down, shoot everything, and blow stuff up, which is all fun and cool and all. If that's something you like to do, obviously, if you want to be in demolition, obviously, I'm sure the Marines can find a spot for you. But when you talk about all the other areas, let's say somebody, I know the saying is every Marine is a rifleman, and I know that's been said for years. But obviously, every MOS is not in combat. Every MOS is not attacking weapons type thing. So even if somebody doesn't want to be in a combat type MOS, what is the main criteria that you guys are looking for to join the Corps?
Okay, if I understand your question correctly, sir, you're asking what's the general criteria for the non-combatant, like MOS?
So just in general, what type of people are you looking to join that would do a good job just in any type of MOS?
Oh, okay. So we look for diversity. I mean, if you think about it, the Marine Corps is made up of just individuals, right? I know probably people think, oh, a lot of them are alpha people or like athletic people. And that's 100% fine if you are not athletic, because I wasn't athletic myself. And what we look for are people with commitment, right? That having that courage, moral courage to actually step up and join a bigger organization, which is so much bigger than themselves. So that's what we're looking for. That's who I want to put in the program, because yeah, you could be athletic, you could be a gung-ho or something like that, but if you don't have the moral fortitude to actually step up for other people, step up for yourself, then I don't think I want you in the program. So those are the kind of people we're looking for, somebody who wants to be a part of, better themselves, essentially.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then you also talked about on the slide on the recruit training, how I think, again, the media may scare people away that it's just so tough and so hard. And it is hard and it is tough. But what you said, I think what people need to understand is that I think pretty much every branch of the military, especially the Marines, you want people to go there and succeed. You're not trying to have people show up and quit. The goal is to encourage people to become better. So again, and you talked about you weren't athletic. So how much of it is you want people to come in and find themselves?
I actually challenge every single one of the kids, like who I'm speaking right in front to watching this video, to, give me a chance, and also give yourselves a chance to see what we could offer you, because all it does is just, it takes like a honest conversation, right? What goals you have in life, are they realistic? And if they're not, well, we could all actually provide you some avenues of approach, right? And at the very end, like you said, sir, the Marine Corps, yeah, it stands out with, or from the different branches. And you are 100% correct on that. The thing is, we offer the same benefits. If you think about it, the education, financial, all those things, we offer the same benefits. But what makes us different from different branches, it all boils down to personality. Okay. So if you are the kind of person who actually wants to be challenged, who likes challenge, right? Being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and want to better yourself, then you could definitely talk to me. So that's what I say. I challenge every single one of you to, just talk to me and give me a chance. If it doesn't work out for you, that's okay, right? And you can move forward, because it doesn't hurt me. This is already my career. And I understand not everybody will become a United States Marine, especially being a female Marine. I'm part of like 9 or 10% of the very small population
Wow.
of the United States Marines. So, and I'm a very tiny person, so I'm 5'2". If I can do it and you're bigger than me, so what's stopping you from doing it,
Well, that's incredible, and that says a lot about you. Now, the last question I have before I get to the students' questions is, and you talked a little bit about this as well, the different places you've been stationed. If somebody, we have a kid that wants to get out of Mississippi and wants to see other parts of the country or other parts of the world, how much of that is something they can look forward to, and if they join the Marine Corps?
So as travel and adventure, you're asking me how much they
Yeah.
can afford to travel, sir?
No,
Okay, so
how much of a benefit is that? Because if people want to get out of their hometown, how much of that is a good benefit of being in the Marines? Because you said you've been in Japan, San Diego. I know my grandfather was in San Diego as well, so I know that you can live in a much different area and get out of Mississippi if you wanted to join the Marine Corps.
yes, sir, it's a very good benefit. It's a huge benefit, because not only is your lodging provided, right, your airfare provided, everything provided, but it could also help you network and see the world, see different cultures and whatnot. It opens your eyes. And to be honest with you, I've met my husband while I was stationed in Japan, and we are both Marines. That's where we met, so you just never know. Traveling is a big part of the culture in the Marine Corps. So that's what we do. Like I said, within 24 hours notice, we just go anywhere that they send us to. So yeah, it definitely is a big advantage for every single one, especially, I'm sorry, for like a young individual, right? 18-year-olds, et cetera, et cetera. Not a lot of young individuals like that get to say that, yeah, I've been all over the world.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's super cool. And I know for our friends at Ridgeland High watching this later, Coach Glover, Peter Glover over at Ridgeland High is a former Marine. And while he never did deploy, he did go to some pretty cool areas in his short time in the Corps, and he has some great things to say about it. But this first question is from Jakaja Anderson. And again, these are all seniors. And she asked, how did you imagine military life before you joined?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so growing up, like I said, I'm not athletic. I'm more of an academic girl. And of course, I imagined the military to be tough. And I didn't really see myself as military material, and definitely not a Marine Corps material at all. But when I joined the Marines, I went to recruit training. It opened my eyes. I discovered something in me that, wow, even though this was hard, and don't get it twisted, it was rough, but something, like I said, I discovered about me was that I'm mentally tough. I'm a mentally tough individual. So even though, it got hard, I still kept on pushing. So yes, the military, I imagine it being tough, but also very, very beneficial. So nothing in life is free, and I hope y'all know that, right? Just a little bit of sacrifice. But yeah, I mean, the military is not for everybody, but it's a big opportunity.
Yeah,
So
and you talked about how you weren't athletic. For some of the ones we have watching now or watching later that are athletes, how much of a team and athletic atmosphere is it in the different companies with the some of the ones that are former athletes in the Marines?
Okay. So there's actually lots of physical fitness that we did, a bunch of obstacle courses. We did like pugil sticks, like fights. What else? We had swimming qualifications. You name it, sir. We have it. Like we have every single thing. But the big thing about recruit training is that the drill instructors are gonna be there. Yes, they yell at you, but because they're there to to remind you not to quit on yourself,
Yeah,
right? Because there were times that I'm like questioning the why did I join, why did I join? But they were there because they don't want you to quit on yourself and they believe in you. So we have individual activities, we have team building activities as well because we work as like a unit. So I enjoy those obstacle courses.
yeah, that does sound like a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. This is from Alayla Middleton, and she asked, she's very interested in nursing. So she's asking, how would you become a nurse if you were in the Marines?
We do have a medical preparatory program in the Marine Corps. So that's something that she can take advantage of. And I will actually give my point of contact at the end of the questions forum so she can reach out to me, sir, about that.
Okay, this is from Everett Smith, and he asked, what made you join the Marine Corps over the other branches?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. I actually was going to join a different branch. I'm not gonna say what, but um, the reason was I sat down with my Marine recruiter and he gave me straight up like these are what we have. And then at the very end, I said, okay, this is actually very challenging. So it, I don't know, there's just like a spark in me that interested me about the Marines. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna join a military branch, might as well just go all in, join the toughest branch. So,
That's awesome.
and here I am.
This is from Michael Williams, and he asked, what is the most difficult part of training?
Most difficult part of training. I want to say the communications with family, maybe because you only write letters when you're there. So I got homesick, I want to say the first few weeks, but I got over it. So having a support system back home, writing you letters, it helped a lot. So yeah, I got homesick the first few weeks.
And again, in every situation is different. But again, I'm referencing my Marine grandfather again. But in his situation, he hated his home life, and it gave him an opportunity to get away from that. Because his dad was a mean, abusive guy, and he was able to escape that environment and find his place in the Marines. And so that could be a benefit as well. You said you had a great home life. He had a horrible home life, but he benefited from the Marine Corps.
Yes, sir.
And I just got two more. This is from DJ Williams, and he asked, "What is the most difficult challenges Marine faces every day?"
Hmm. I guess being conflicted as far as like your personal and professional opinion and views on things, because at the end of the day, you wear the uniform, you are a representative of the United States Marine, right? So this Eagle, Globe, and Anchor behind me, so we represent that. And I know that, like I said, we're individuals. At the end of the day, we have feelings too, we have opinions, but what you have to represent is not yourself, but the United States Marine. So
That's awesome. And this is the last one. This is Julia Jackson, and she's very, she's one that's going to go to college no matter what she does. But she's asking, if you were to join the Marines, how difficult would it be to go to school and be a member of the Marine Corps?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time, sir? How difficult it is
Sorry,
to,
how difficult would it be to go to school and be a member of the Marine Corps?
oh, it is not very difficult at all because for me, I did it. It took a little bit of a push from one of my leaders before, like my sergeant at the time, because I keep saying, yeah, I'm going to school, I'm going to school. It's so easy to say one thing and not do the other. So he was like, well, when are you actually trying to go? You got to go do this. And I just started registering for classes. And then, like I said, with the college credits I earned,
I have all those. I went to the education center. I have all my transcripts, and here's what I have. And they were able to say, okay, these are the electives you can knock out. These are the classes you can take, and it's as easy as that.
That's awesome.
So I think they once you just get the ball rolling on things, then it'll be easy.
Well, and that's some great stuff. And we thank you so much for joining us today. But if you want to go ahead and share your contact information,
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I'll put it in the where everybody can see.
Yes, sir. Okay, so here it is. Like I said, I'm the local Marine representative for the schools you mentioned. And again, my name is Staff Sergeant Lazzaro. My first name is Hannah, and that's my phone number. So I might have tried to contact some of the seniors before during summer. So that's my number. Don't get scared. It's a Louisiana number, but it's because it's my government issued phone, so I don't have control on my number. Also, you can find me on my Instagram, Snapchat with my username ssgt_Lazzaro. I'm also on Facebook. If you guys look me up at Hannah Lazzaro with the Staff Sergeant like nickname. And for any more questions or concerns, you guys are more than welcome to do your research on marines.com. So thank you for having me, sir.
That's all.
Absolutely. I
That was
appreciate it.
some good stuff, and thank you so much. And as always, Semper Fi.
Yes, sir. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
All right, see you.